what kind of impact does Nico Iamaleava have this year at Tennessee? You think back a couple of years ago, 2022, Tennessee felt like they were contending for a playoff spot because they were. They were 11-2 2 seasons ago. And then last season, it was a bridge season. We kind of called it that in the preseason, and it ended up being that. So Joe Milton was the quarterback. Director Colin and I and Jesse actually were at their first game. It's the only game we've been to together. They played Virginia. They smoked them over here in Nissan Stadium. And so it felt good to start off with, but over time you felt, this season feels a little hollow compared to what we were last year. Okay, so they were 11-2 2 years ago. They go 9-4 last year. Here's the harsh reality. Points per game, they went from 1st to 35th. Yards per game, 1st to 19th. Pass yards per game, 5th to 51st. I think Nico Iamaleava is going to be a star in this sport, and I don't think you'll have to wait a couple of years. I think he will be that this year. That dude will end up being a household name in college football, and you don't play a long time in college football, so you got to be really good, really fast. He's got it. We were over there about a month and a half ago, and whether it's on the record or off the record, everybody you talk to around that building, there are certain things you want to hear from them, the least of which is usually the physical stuff. Because people don't miss a whole lot on evaluating quarterbacks these days physically. There are too many reps that you get your eyes on. There are too many people who get their eyes on those reps. It's too high profile a position. So normally, if a guy is a consensus 5-star, from the physical side of things, he's going to be that. But the neck up, the mental side, the intangibles, that's what you want to hear about. And especially in the NIL era, where that sort of thing for a guy who doesn't have his head on straight could really discombobulate and throw things off the rails a little bit, doesn't sound like it's happened with him at all. So if you've got from the neck up, things in order, and from the neck down, you are just what God made you physically and what you have worked to perfect in your craft, you could do some really special things. What offense would you rather be in? If you're a 5-star talent with a 5-star head on your shoulders, and you're 6'6", 215 or 220 at quarterback, and can throw the ball a mile, where would you rather play? Hendon Hooker lit it up 2 years ago. And it was funny because when you listen to the NFL draft types talk, they were talking about Hendon Hooker, and some people were trying to talk about what he'd do at the next level. The NFL draft types behind the scenes were saying, dude, Heupel is squeezing every ounce of his potential out of him right now. Well, what that told me was not think about the drop-off that will come when he leaves. Yeah, there may be some drop-off. What that told me was Hendon Hooker was never a transcendent type athlete. He was never a 5-star talent. What happens when Heupel gets one? Well, he's got one. He's got one now. How good is he going to be? One of the big questions in college football this year.